Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Snake Eyes. And this is from director Robert Schwentke, and this is a new film from the G.I. Joe universe. I remember being in college, and at the bookstore at Ryder, they had used movies. And I bought G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra on DVD for like $5. And I watched it, and I thought it was some big dumb fun. I enjoyed it. I remember watching it a couple of years later and being like, after I had all of college to like spread my thoughts on movies and widen my horizons, I'm like, this is just a dumb movie. And then I remember when Retaliation came out and just kind of rebooted the whole entire thing, and you throw in The Rock and Bruce Willis because you didn't trust the characters from the first film, and then it was like a 90-minute, I think, just like speed race through like an action movie, and you're just sitting there like, why is this franchise not working? And it's supposed to be silly and fun, and then you have Snake Eyes here, how many years later, and Paramount's trying to reboot this franchise, and you do an origin story for the character who doesn't say anything, and cast Henry Golding, who's a really talented and charismatic lead. So obviously they changed the character, right? So Snake Eyes is very different here. His dad was murdered, and he wants revenge, and he gets caught up with this man Tommy, played by Andrew Koji, who's fantastic in the film. He has some great emotional moments in the film. One particular scene at the end of the film is probably the highlight of the film for me. It's like the realest scene in the whole film. And you have Golding, who's doing fine with this character who doesn't have a whole lot of depth. He just wants revenge, and he's caught up in this new ancient ninja clan, and he's putting on this face so that he could train and find the man who killed his father. And to be perfectly honest, Snake Eyes isn't very likable. Tommy's considerably likable. Who is Stormfront? Not Stormfront. Is it? He's the one who like winds up becoming part of Cobra. And you're just like, okay. So we like him more. Snake Eyes is a jerk, and really, if you look purely from the plot points, Snake Eyes should be the villain here, not Tommy by the end of the film. And who's the villain? I don't know. There's like 50 moving pieces in this movie. You have this MacGuffin that has no logic or rhyme or reason to its powers, except that, you know, the plot tells it when to stop being overpowered. And you have Cobra, and you have this other person coming after this clan, and the clan has all these different characters. So many people underutilized, including a quick shout out to Iko Uwais, who was in the Raid movies, and underutilized in Stupor, underutilized in Mile 22, underutilized in Triple Threat, and just so many films where it's like, his talents were underutilized. Like, he was in the Raid and was amazing. And you have all of these different moving pieces, and it's just a convoluted mess of a film. When the action isn't on screen, it's actually kind of boring because it's just so much exposition and dumping. And it kind of reminded me of Infinite, which is not a good thing. And then you had the action, and the action, the first 3/4 of the film, is so shaky, it's nauseating. It hurt my eyes. I couldn't look at the screen. I got nauseous. I'm like, I wish I had my glasses on me so they could focus at least. And it was just horrible. And then you get to the third act of the film, and this is like the only saving grace. I already mentioned the emotional scene that Koji has as Tommy towards the end of the film. But this third act, action, like just big action of this highway chase, which is a lot of fun. You can actually see what's going on. And then they get back to the, like this temple, the clan's temple that we've been spending most of the film in. And you have all these moving pieces, and there's a lot of fun action going on here. The logic goes out the window. It makes no sense, but at least you're having some fun. And of course, like Samara Weaving, who's fantastic actress is just thrown in here as Scarlet to set up future G.I. Joe films, and you have Ursula Corbero, who's here as the Baroness, just to set up some future G.I. Joe films. This felt like all the G.I. Joe stuff was obnoxiously tacked on, and if they just focus this as a film without even it being like Storm Shadow or Snake Eyes, like this would have been probably better because they could have focused on other things instead of trying to set up G.I. Joe. But that's the thing, that's the purpose of this film. And in the end, I just felt like this was a convoluted mess of a film that was really disappointing, and even the action couldn't even sell me fully on this film. If it wasn't for the third act and Koji's performance and his character of Tommy, this would have been a full wash. But in the end, I was really disappointed by this, and I wouldn't necessarily be like, hey, go out and check this out. But unless you really need a new action movie to check out, you're just thirsting, chomping at the bit for one, then maybe go check this one out. But those are my thoughts on Snake Eyes. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.